There are millions of different types of mother planes, flew by millions of different types of beings, right? But we who have our own mother planes, right? We have the grand mothership Nubaru, right? Which is 63,408 miles in diameter. It's about 9 times the size of Earth, right? And inside of her belly, she carries about 2,880 shams. A sham is the crown-shaped passenger crabs that come from inside of the grand mothership Nubaru, right? It also can hold 24 crystal cities. It also carries 10 warships and has space for thousands of other different ships because there are different types of creatures on Nubaru and they all have their own types of ships. So they have places where they can park their ships at. This is the grand mothership Nubaru, right? We also have the mothership Destiny Fleet, right? Which is a half a mile long and 1/4 of a mile wide at its rear point, right? And it comes equipped with 4 shuttles, right? The older ones with 2, the newer ones with 4. We also have the Atlantis mothership fleet, right? And Atlantis is 492 stories tall, brothers and sisters. The tallest building on there, which is the center point, is almost 1 mile high. And it is 2 1/3 mile wide, right? Designed like a snowflake, right? And then we have the Crystal City, right? Which we told you that comes off of the grand mothership Nubaru, right? And like I say, it's 24 of these on board of the grand mothership Nubaru, right? The Crystal City sits above the North Pole, right? The center sun, which is 600 miles in diameter, shoots its rays at the top of the North Pole, and where the Crystal City is sitting there in the 4th dimension, right? About 144,000 miles above Earth, right? At 23 degrees at the North Pole in the 4th dimension. This Crystal City is like a prism which breaks down light and stores it and uses it as energy. Crystal City is mentioned by the prophet John in Revelations 21, where they give you the descriptions and dimensions of it, right? It's about 1,500 square miles in diameter, having 12 gates, 3 on each side, made of solid pearl, having 12 different floors on it, right? Streets of gold, milk and honey. Go read it, Revelation 21, right? So that is another mothership that is stationed here, right? And it also has 4 baby planes on the Crystal City, which guard the Crystal City. These 4 planes come out of Crystal City and they guard and they don't sleep day or night. They guard Crystal City 24/7. So devil, you can never get up there and try to attack it. And if you try attacking it, it's a wrap for you, right? So that's another mothership. But tonight we're here to talk to you about the will, which is the mother plane that Elijah Muhammad, praises be unto him, mentions and writes about. We're about to get into that. In 1928, we who are the heirs who hover called for a meeting. And in this meeting, we discuss of how one day the devil will gain access to a certain amount of technology that could possibly put the world and our seed at risk. So we wrote a will. The will is to protect the seed of God Almighty and the planet and the inheritance. And in this will was the order to send telepathic messages to scientists of the original man around the world to design different parts for this will. Each scientist designing an individual part under telepathic guidance of one of the elders. Then they were told to package the parts up and mail them to Nepal, which is now being called Japan, where they were assembled. And in 1929, the wheel took flight. This plane called the wheel, also referred to as the mother plane by Elijah Muhammad, all praises be unto him, was designed after one of the baby planes which comes off of the Crystal City. Because we told you that Crystal City has 4 baby planes that guard it. So what we did is to make a replica, a smaller version of the 4 baby plane called the wheel to end this wicked world when the time comes. So each scientist designing their own part being telepathically guided, afterwards not knowing what they were even designing, mailing the parts to Japan where the parts were assembled, right? Where the ship is a wheel in the middle of a wheel, made of the finest steel, composites that man would never be able to figure out, right? Because we allowed you to have a few of our baby planes, the ones that we changed out, right? To let you take a peek at them, right? To see how far that we ahead of you, right? And you say that the steel on them was thinner than fall. You took a blowtorch to it. You took a diamond cutter to it. You took a sludge hammer to it, and you couldn't even make a dent in it. So that show you that you ain't got no power and no might to fight against us. So the baby planes are made out of one mold of the finest of this special type of steel that we composite using elements from your planet and from the center of your planet, which you know nothing about, right? To outmarch you. The mother plane was assembled as two molds and the baby planes as one mold. They were hydro-fused together, right? And we ain't gonna tell you how we did it. So in 1929, the wheel took place and it was up there not bothering nobody. The messenger teaches us that the wheel is a half a mile by half a mile, 1,320 feet in diameter, right? And 8,289 feet in circumference, both ways. Inside of the wheel, they have 320 acres of space, and they can double that space to 640 acres at will. It looks like a giant walnut or a burger that's spinning. The ring around the outside spinning clockwise and the centerpiece spinning counterclockwise. Its shape is oval. It's made of a spear shape like the universe. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad calls it a masterpiece of mechanic engineering. Nothing like this has ever been seen before, right? Elijah Muhammad said the wheel was made for the purpose of the final battle of this wicked world, the forces of evil that rule this world to be uprooted. This wheel is to uproot them. He said it took what we equivalent to $15 billion in gold back in that time to build it. The messenger teaches that the wheel has a dual nature, one which is life-giving and one which brings absolute death and destruction and mayhem for suckers who want to try to step and fight God. Actually, the wheel serves as a carrier, right, for 1,500 baby bombing planes. The baby planes are 26 feet wide and 15 feet tall. The wheel acts as a beehive, right, which has worker bees that live on the inside and come out if you try to attack the wheel. We who are knew one day that the wicked would develop technology and weapons. The wicked has power now to destroy the earth. So to mark the end of their rule, we set the wheel in motion to prevent them from destroying the original seed and the planet. People who seen the wheel. When I lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico in 2010, I seen the wheel, right? Parked up about between 65 and 68,000 feet with a black hose rolled out from the bottom of it, right? I can spot the wheel pretty much anywhere. I know it's up there. So I know the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was right in his act, right? On November 17, 1986, a well-trained Japanese pilot seen the wheel. He was flying on a Japanese airline flight 1628 en route from Paris to Alaska, right? The pilot said that it was the size of 2 aircraft carriers. He said the smaller planes came off the bigger plane. Then he described how they fly. He said the things were flying as if there was no such thing as gravity. It sped up, then stopped, flew our speed in our direction. So to us, it appeared to be standing still. The next instant, it changed course. In other words, the flying object had overcome gravity. This is what the Japanese pilot said. He said that they were flying over 600 miles an hour. One of the baby planes was parked in front of them, about 20 feet, matching their speed. Then it'll dart off in front of them and dart back as if it was standing still in front of them, right? So this Japanese pilot drew pictures of it, of how it looked, right? And he was later on, labeled as a nutcase and put into the crazy house.